my life where uh, I have to almost learn who I am again. You know, not because I don't know who I am, not because I have identity issues or whatever that may be, but because I was in a difficult period of my life for such a long period of time, and because I was in a very isolated space for quite a period of time, I allowed my beliefs, my understanding, all the things that I learned to now to shape my mind. To remove all the pre-existing beliefs and understandings and remove those and forget them, and now have a new mind, a new understanding, a new belief structure. And in that, at the same time, during the same period, was going through an extremely difficult time that was molding and shaping my mind in ways that even I don't even understand to this point. Because I went through that period, that process, that time, now I come out, to the real world. I start interacting with people again, and there's things that, sometimes I may say or do that were not me before I started my journey. Things that I'm also unfamiliar with, things that I could say to someone, things that I could, do, um, let's say maybe, for example, I was a person who would never ever say I would never be in a fight. Who would be like, I would never be in a fight. I don't want to be in a fight. I'm not looking for a fight. But after the period that I went through and had to go through, now I can see a situation of fighting as maybe that might need to happen. Maybe that might be the solution. Whatever I went through, the difficult time that I went through and the situations and things that happened shaped my mind to a point where my mind used to see fighting as completely unheard of, unnecessary, never to happen. And now fighting being, maybe that's what might need to happen. That's what might need to happen. That's the scary part. That's the interesting part of now I find myself being able to do things and say things and try to achieve things that a version of me in the past would never try achieve. Trying to take bites out of pieces and chunks out of things that I would have never attempted to take bites out of in my entire life. So I'm rediscovering myself because I don't even know, what are the extents of this change. Sometimes you think all the change that's happening in your life is good, but sometimes you might find that there are bad things that come with that change. That even though when you changed, you became a better person, there are still aspects of you that struggled because of the change that took place. Nothing is for free. Something is always going to be the cost. Something has to be a cost. So I find myself in situations sometimes where I do something and I'm like, is that now also available in the cards? Is that now something that I can do? I mean, my life has always been a life of doing extremely crazy things. But when you start reaching a level of crazy where it's like, what's next? What am I going to do next?